What's going on, family? Welcome in and welcome back to the Peace Be Upon You broadcast. I am your host, Keenan Hill, where here we give you the tools and the tips that you need to manifest your dreams into fruition. Now, today we'll be discussing how to be patient in times of your waiting season. I chose now to discuss this topic because I know that the new year is off to a bit of a slow start. We're so used to working so fast and doing so much during the holiday season between like November to New Year's that we get consumed in everything that we've been working for. We're not able to be appreciative in our waiting season, let alone be patient while we wait on our reward for all of that hard work. So what can we do exactly to make sure that we're not becoming too consumed in our desires during this waiting season? And the first thing that we can do is not to neglect what we have around us. Oftentimes, there are skill sets that we can continue working on. There are different aspects or part of our lives that need our attention and command our focus right now that things have slowed down. And we could be giving these things our energy. We could be cleaning up around the house. We could be giving our family, our friends, or our spouse that quality time that they need or that they deserve. We could be putting in a little bit more effort into the small things in life so that by the time the big things roll around and the real things that we've put our energy into obtaining come to us, we're prepared in all aspects to receive that thing. This is where reflection plays a huge key role. We have to be able to reflect and take a step outside of ourselves to see what could really use some of our attention now that things have slowed down just a little bit. What can we be doing? How can we be spending our time in a productive, a positive, and a valuable way? What can we do to be giving to others right now? This time shouldn't be just seen as a slow season or a time of stagnation, but it should be seen as a time where you allow yourself the opportunity to perceive your surroundings in a new way and come up with new ideas or new ways to spend your time. Don't be so stuck to your goals that you don't allow yourself to appreciate what you have right now. And that will segue me into my next tip, which is to give yourself permission to appreciate new experiences. Make plans for right now. Go out and find new things that excite you. Go out and try new dishes and new meals. Go out and if you take a certain route every single day, go and take the scenic route today. Go do something different. It's those small changes that we make to our plans that make the biggest differences. Sometimes our minds and our bodies, our eyes just need to see new things. We need to shake it up, refresh it, get ourselves excited about the small things. And that's important. We have to open our mind to new possibilities, but we can't lose sight of what we worked hard for at the same time, if that makes sense. So continue to open up your ideas, your thought process, change your mindset, see what new ideas you can embrace, but don't lose sight of everything that you've worked hard for up until that point. Don't use this as a time to test your morals or your faith in what you've believed in. If you know that you maintain integrity on something, continue to maintain that integrity, but use this time to do new things that correspond with your pre-existing beliefs and see what new outcomes come to you. For example, I have an analogy that I like using when it comes to different seasons of our lives. And just try to picture a farmer, right? So a farmer has his planting season. A farmer has his growing season. A farmer has his harvest season. And it's like these things continue. There's cycles of life, right? The same way that there's cycles in the working of a farmer. So think of this season right now in your life as the season that comes right after you've planted, right after you've watered, right after you've manicured and finely tended to your crops. And now you're just waiting on the fruits of your labor to flourish and grow and start bearing tangible fruit, a tangible object, right? So continue to be prepared and continue to do what's necessary to ensure that the reward that's coming to you is the most beneficial, the most ripe, the most worthy of your hard work and dedication up until this point. Now, if you're growing tomatoes, when I tell you give yourself permission to appreciate new experiences, I'm not telling you to go out there and learn how to start growing potatoes. What I'm telling you is keep a focus on tomatoes, as that's the skill set that you've masterfully been capturing and honing in on all of your skills and your hard work towards. I'm telling you to keep a focus on what you know. Maybe try a new fertilizer instead. Maybe if you water in the afternoons and you find that you have free time in the mornings now, why don't you experiment with watering in the morning as well? Don't change your skill set or the focus of your skill set. Change the way you perceive or approach the skill set that you've already begun to master in this free time. With that being said, this is a time where you should be working harder, though the work may be passive compared to what you've been used to doing in previous seasons. You should be working harder indirectly towards your goals and what you want to accomplish. And with this hard work and this dedication that you'll be giving, direct or indirect, you're going to need rest. So my last tip for how to be patient during your waiting season is to make sure that you're getting rest. Fill your schedule with a nap every now and then to reward yourself for hard work throughout your mornings and your early afternoon. Fill and plug in your schedule with rest, meditation, reading, writing, something that brings you clarity and understanding. Fill your dietary needs with fruits and vegetables, things that you've been missing or lacking from working extremely hard in the past season or two without giving your body the proper nutrients that it may need to recover and be prepared for this upcoming season that you're approaching. And remember that God is only going to bless us with these rewards and the fruits of our hard work and labor when we're physically, spiritually, and mentally prepared to receive them. And I'm a firm believer that rest is a part of that. No matter if it makes you feel as if you may not be doing enough right now in this present moment, or you should be working harder. The last thing you want to do is overexert yourself to the point of exhaustion or weakness, because a weak man or woman is not going to be in the position that they need to be, is not going to be thinking clear enough, is not going to be operating strong enough to be able to bear the newfound weight on their shoulders that they're going to receive once that fruit does come into harvest. And it's time for them to continue working steadily towards new goals and building on top of that new foundation. So prepare now by resting, taking care of your body, your mind, your heart, and your spirit in these times of rest and your waiting season. And see the difference that it'll make once you feel well rested, once you've given yourself permission to appreciate new experiences and not allowing yourself to neglect what you have around you and what you're capable of doing now in the present moment with the tools that you've been given. If there's one thing I want you to take from today's broadcast, aside from the necessary tools and tips that I've given you prior, is that there's always cycles and seasons in life. And it's never more important as to what those seasons give you, but more so what you take from those seasons and how you respond. So be strong and be encouraged and know that this season is only setting you up for your next season. And though things may be going slower than expected, just know that it's worth it, and that by being patient, your blessings will only multiply into greater gifts and skills for you to take with you along this journey called life. I wanted to thank all of y'all for tuning in this week and let you know that I will definitely be back again next week. As always, may peace be upon you all, and God bless. Take care out there.